Today we're going to be talking about a particular person in modern American Christianity. The person that stands out most in my mind is Franklin Graham. If you followed closely to the 2016 presidential election, most of us from a Christian perspective heard the voice of Franklin Graham as he stood up and he did things that some people seem to be a little afraid to do. Uh, According to BillyGraham.org, an article that was put there in September 30th of 2016, Graham was quoted as saying, "I believe that this election is the most significant since Abraham Lincoln was chosen to guide a divided country through a bloody and protracted civil war." Going on to quote, "For if the forces of evil that are aligned against the free exercise of our faith succeed, and they have done severe damage already, then I have no doubt that the nation we love will devolve into moral anarchy more quickly than we can imagine." It was a scary situation watching the things that was taking place because so many of our freedoms and our liberties as Christians were being stripped away, and we were told that we couldn't say things and we couldn't do things, and we were forced into a corner to keep our mouths shut. But thank God for people like Franklin Graham that would stand up and speak out for our freedoms. Now, this quote came from the BillyGraham.org website. Franklin Graham has devoted his life to meeting the needs of people around the world and proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ. The eldest son of Billy and Ruth Bell Graham, he serves as president and CEO of Samaritan's Purse and the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. Under his leadership, Samaritan's Purse has met the needs of the poor, sick, and suffering people in more than 100 countries. As an evangelist for the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, he has led crusades around the world. This is according to SamaritansPurse.org. Now, Samaritan's Purse is a charitable organization, and they go out when there are disasters or earthquakes and hurricanes and things like that, and they help those that are in need. And he travels the world. The organization goes around bringing food and clothing and medicines and doctors and the help that's needed when it's needed. Now, Franklin Graham did not always serve in the capacity as he serves today. He rebelled like most of us did, younger, and he had a lot of things that he had to overcome as he stepped into the role that he has stepped into today. Growing up in the shadow of his father, Billy Graham, was not easy, and having to overcome a rough past of bad choices. The story of Franklin Graham shows us that we all have to find the spot we belong and do the work God has for us. Think.org, in an article, it's called "Filling Billy Graham's Shoes," it is stated, not only did he have to overcome the pressure of following in his father's mighty footsteps, but he also had to overcome a rebellious past that included drinking, smoking, and running from God. The modern American Christian, we do not have to be a carbon copy of those who came before us. We have to become what God wants us to become. We can't be Billy Graham. We can't be all the other ones that we look up to. We can't be Jerry Falwell. We can't be those that have gone before us. We have to be what God wants us to be and forge a path that those that will come behind us will be able to follow on a clear pursuit to being the best American Christian we can be.